The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good morning, sports fans, and good morning, Missouri. I am Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio on the Missouri Sports Network. MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, and tomorrow is always a better day. Presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, the Bank of Billings, Burgess and Associates, Doak Propane, Central Bank, and Liuna Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri and Building Missouri State, and reminding us to drive safely in all work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. And now, on this day in history, presented by Great Southern Bank, with more than 100 locations in 6 states, Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. May the 16th is the 136th day of the year, and there'll be 229 days remaining until the end of 2023. On May 16th in 1771, the Battle of Alamance, a pre-American Revolutionary War battle between local militia and a group of rebels called the Regulators, occurs in present-day Alamance County, North Carolina. In 1842, the first major wagon train headed for the Pacific Northwest sets out on the Oregon Trail from Elm Grove, Missouri, with 100 lives on board. In 1929, in Hollywood, the first Academy Award ceremony takes place. In sports, on this day in 1882, the 8th Kentucky Derby, Babe Hurd aboard Apollo wins in 240 flat. In the 10th Kentucky Derby in 1884, Isaac Murphy aboard Buchanan wins in 240.25. In 1927, New York Yankee Bob Musil steals second, third, and home. In the 57th Kentucky Derby in 1931, Charles Kurtzinger on 20 grand wins in 201.8. And in 1932, Yankees' 4th straight shutout to equal a record set by both Cleveland and Boston. In 1953, Philadelphia Kurt Simmons gives up a leadoff single, retires the next 27 batters in a row for a 3-0 win over the Braves at County Stadium in Milwaukee. In 1954, Ted Williams gets 8 hits in the first game of a doubleheader since breaking his collarbone. In 1955, Rocky Marciano beats Don Knottle by TKO in the 9th round at Kezar Stadium, San Francisco, to retain his World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. And in 1957, New York Yankee players including Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, and Hank Bauer are involved in a brawl at the Copacabana nightclub while watching Sammy Davis Jr. perform, and it ends up leading to the trade of Billy Martin. In 1965, Baltimore Oriole Jim Palmer's pitching debut. He defeats the Yankees 7-5 and hits a home run in the contest. In 1980, the 34th NBA championship, the LA Lakers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 4-2. On this date in 1984, Major League pitcher of the Philadelphia Phillies, Steve Carlton, hits a grand slam home run off Fernando Valenzuela in a 7-2 win against the Dodgers in Los Angeles. In 1985, on this date, Michael Jordan was named NBA Rookie of the Year. And in 1996, Sammy Sosa becomes the first Chicago Cub to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. In 2019, Brooks Koepka fires a tournament record equaling and a course record 63 -7 to lead the PGA Championship by 1 stroke after the first round at Bethpage Black in New York. And now, page 2.
Leave banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar.
Well, after a series of starts that left him frustrated and facing questions about everything from two-strike choices to zip on his fastball, Jack Flaherty last night delivered a concise answer. He let his pitching do the talking. And this is what winning feels like. I can remember it from a year ago. But after dropping 8 in a row, what a difference a week makes. Take 2 out of 3 in Chicago, you sweep the Red Sox, and then you welcome in division-leading Milwaukee. And you absolutely put a beat down on the Brew Crew. An overwhelming outing against the National League Central Division leading Milwaukee Brewers. Flaherty reunited with catcher Wilson Contreras and emerged from a foggy first inning. He had the bases loaded 1 out and got a ground ball double play. He became the first Cardinal starter this season to strike out 10 batters and did it so in an 18-1 show of force against the Brewers at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals scored 10 runs in the 8th inning to pull away for the rout. Andrew Kisner's first career grand slam came late in that inning that he came in earlier in that inning as a pinch runner. Nolan Gorman also had a home run in the inning to cap off a career night with 5 RBIs, and Nolan Arenado hit a 3-run homer in the first inning for his 4th home run in as many games. Over the past 7 games, Arenado is batting .367 with 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. But Nolan Gorman is hitting .381 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. The Birds are now back in Milwaukee 6.5 and play the Brew Crew tonight. We'll send Montgomery up against Miley. The Royals on the West Coast in San Diego were no-hit through 7 innings by former Cardinal Michael Wacha. Padres win 4-0. For a long time, the Padres operated as a small market franchise similar to the Royals. Aside from a spending spree in the late 1990s that did lead to a pennant, they were typically the bottom half of Major League Baseball spending. As recently as 2019, they had a $63 million payroll, which is less than the Royals. But once the ownership group, headed by Peter Sadler, paid off the debt they used to buy the club, the spending commenced. The Padres landed big free agents like Manny Machado, Yu Darvish, Xander Bogaerts, and Ha-Seong Kim. They made bold trades for Juan Soto, Blake Snell, and Josh Hader. They locked up young talent like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jake Cronenworth to long-term deals. Last year, they finished 5th in league attendance with nearly 37,000 fans per game. This year, they are on pace to set a record with over 3 million fans. But the spending hasn't resulted in a championship quite yet. The club lost to the Phillies in the National League Championship Series last year. After dropping 7 last 8 games, they are now under 500 in mid-May as they begin a 6-game homestand, luckily against the Royals. And now, page 2.
The qualities in a truck that are most important are reliability, just really great function.
Having a truck is pretty much a necessity to getting to most of these locations. Oftentimes it's narrow, steep, loose, rough, rocky roads.
Having a truck is essential to every part of what we do, from picking up material for the home to delivering the home.
Always carrying something, pulling something.
It's something that we use every single day here.
And now on the prep side of it all, it is the postseason now for Missouri high school prep sports. And we will start with the soccer scoreboard from a night ago. And in Class 1 District 1, Kelly defeats Hancock 9-1. Class 1 District 2, it was Cardinal Ritter shutting out Crossroads 2-0. Canton defeats Lutheran North 7-0. Crocker over Dixon 5-2. Elsewhere in Class 1, Father Tolton defeated Sacred Heart 13-0. And Fatima over Smithton 5-0. In Class 2 District 1 semifinal was Perryville shutting out Fredericktown 6-0. St. Pius X over Bishop DeBerg 3-0. Duchesne defeats Winfield 7-2. Orchard Farm over St. Charles West 6-1. Whitfield defeats St. Clair 6-0. Again, these are soccer scores from last night. These are Class 2 district scores. Pleasant Hill over Oak Grove 4-0. Elsewhere was Harrisonville shutting out Summit Christian Academy 4-0. Elias Catholic also in Class 2 over Stover 5-0. Moberly defeats Kirksville 3-1. Marshall over Odessa 5-2. Southern Boone defeats Booneville 5-0. St. Pius X out of Kansas City over Cameron 8-0. Excelsior Springs defeats Chillicothe 1-0. Was Maryville over Lafayette 7-0. In Class 3 was Notre Dame St. Louis over Hillsboro 7-0. Windsor defeats Farmington 4-0. Visitation Academy shuts out Lutheran South 8-0. Webster Groves blanks Ladue Horton Watkins 1-0. Ursuline Academy over Pacific 5-1. Corjazoo Academy shuts out Rockwood Summit 3-0. Washington over Capital City 1-0. Union defeats Rolla 2-1. Glendale, impressive over McDonald County 12-0. Willard defeats Parkview 4-0. Smithville over Kearney 2-0. Pembroke Hill defeats Platte County 1-0. Pattonville shuts out Francis Howell North 1-0. In Class 4, also Marquette over Lebanon 9-0. Parkway South defeats Northwest Cedar Hill 5-0. Lafayette Wildwood over Waynesville 5-0. Eureka defeats Parkway West 2-0. Grain Valley over Battle with Columbia Independence 8-0. Smith Cotton defeats Fort Osage 2-1. Blue Springs South over Hickman 3-2. On the baseball side of things, not a lot of games last night. A lot of games rained out, especially in southwest Missouri. But Cooter in Class 1 district scoreboard, Cooter over Clarkton 21-0. Risco 5-3 over Naylor. Clarkton over Southland 13-12. Elsewhere in Class 1 baseball, Naylor defeats Gideon 15-0. Oran 13-3 over Delta. Bell City 9-1 over Leopold. Halfway defeats Climax Springs 13-3. Northwest of Hughesville 4-0 over Kingsville. Staying in Class 1, Leeton defeats Lutheran Kansas City 2-1. Was Northeast Cairo over Wellsville Middletown 8-0. Community over Higbee 2-0. Atlanta upsets the 1 seed La Plata 8-5. Elsewhere in Class 1, North Shelby over Marion County 13-11. Green City defeats Newton Harris 2-0. Princeton over Nivinger 8-7. In Class 2, Neelyville defeats Holcomb 16-1. Bernie over South Pemiscot 10-0. Alton over Ellington 7-6. Van Buren defeats Winona 10-0. Chaffee over Advanced 7-1. St. Vincent over Saxony Lutheran 3-1. Crystal City defeats Bismarck 4-0. Valley over Principia 7-6. These are Class 2 district baseball scores from last night. Harrisburg over Louisiana 3-2. Westran upsets Silex 4-1. Putnam County over Canton 9-4. Salisbury defeats Marceline 10-1. New Franklin over Fayette 8-0. Kabul defeats Fordland 5-2. Seymour over Bakersfield 11-1. Marionville upsets the 1 seed Purdy 8-7. New Covenant over Galena 3-2. Crestridge defeats Smithton 8-7. St. Paul Lutheran over Sweet Springs 12-2. Portageville in Class 3 now. Portageville over Twin Rivers 10-0. East Prairie 16, Charleston 1. Hancock defeats Gateway. Science Charter 8-2. Ellsbury over Whitfield 5-1. Palmyra over Mount Monroe City 4-0. Mark Twain defeats Highlands 6-3. Elsewhere in Class 3 baseball, district baseball, South Callaway over North Callaway 6-2. Herman defeats Montgomery County 7-0. Barstow over Holden 8-1. Cape Notre Dame 3-1 over Dexter. Kennett over Fredericktown 18-3. Central Park Hills defeats Herculaneum 6-0. Potosi over St. Genevieve 8-4. Sullivan defeats Salem 8-2. St. James over Owensville in Class 4 6-4. Elsewhere in Class 4, Orchard Farm over Jennings 23-2. University City defeats Steam 7-2. Whitfield over Bowling Green 11-1. St. Charles West over Wright City 4-3. Fulton defeats Boone 3-2. Fathom over Blair Oaks 10-3. Eldon defeats Osage 9-0. California over Versailles 6-0. Pleasant Hill over Clinton 10-3. Nevada defeats Knobnoster 8-3. Excelsior Springs over Guadalupe Centers 15-0. Benton defeats St. Pius X 2-0. Again, these are Class 4 scores. District baseball scores. 15-0 Guadalupe, 15-0 over Northeast. Elsewhere, just regular season games. Francis Howell North defeats Parkway South 7-6. Roosevelt forfeits to Hazelwood. Ladue Horton Watkins shuts out Parkway North 15-0. Lindbergh 3-2 over Fort Zumwalt East. Farmington over Poplar Bluff 8-6. And Washington defeats Parkway West 8-7. Softball quarterfinals to be played today. At Risco will be Class 1 state quarterfinal at Risco will be Valley Catholic at Risco. Quarterfinal number 2 will be Plato at Ellington. Number 3 will be Jasper at Miller in Class 1 quarterfinals. And the last quarterfinal game today will be Concordia at Sweet Springs. Class 2 state quarterfinals, West County will be at Malden. Ava will be at Houston. Mount Vernon will be at Sparta. And Warsaw will be at Fairgrove. You've been listening to and watching the Morning Update here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. God bless everybody.